Good morning, my friends. Welcome to the new week. And of course, we're kickstarting it with the Deal It Up challenge. So we're into our third set of faux collectors cards. Starting today, we're starting on our toys theme. So if you're new here, we're working through a series of 6 cards per theme. So our first series was birds, our second series was children, and now the third series here is toys. So a set of 6 cards that all belong as part of a cohesive group or set. So let's get into it. I've got my cards ready. I've backed them. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my voice right now. Very annoying. So I've got a few bits and pieces ready. But let's pull the prompts for this week and see what we're going to be playing with. So I've harvested my images from a children's illustrated dictionary. I think they might be slightly too wide, so I might switch things up this series. We shall see how I get on. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. And my voice just keeps wanting to disappear on me. I think it's tiredness, to be perfectly frank. Layered. So layered is our first prompt. I think we had that two weeks ago, didn't we? Doesn't matter though. It's all good. Yeah, I think it's tiredness. I am literally exhausted. And it's funny because I woke up this morning thinking, oh, I actually feel pretty good. It's now, what, 8:30 in the morning, and it's crowding in on me. Like that brief moment of feeling not too bad is disappearing. So just be warned, there might be a few gaps in videos this week because I am literally exhausted. I calculated it to get this. I am 28% down on sleep for last week. When I put it into hours, I thought, oh, that doesn't sound bad. Like, that's all numbers. I do like numbers. Thought that doesn't sound bad. So I thought, well, I'll work it out in percentage. So it's more than a quarter of my sleep, my normal sleep that I'm missing for last week. And with health issues, tiredness is a big thing for me, and so 28% down on the hours that I need to function is actually quite significant, and it was helpful for me to do that, to just give myself a break and go, actually, you know what, that is a lot. That is understandably having a greater impact. So right, I don't know why I'm closing my eyes for this because they're all the same card back, but there we go. So this is the alternate make if you don't want to join us in making a faux collector's card, because you do not have to if you don't want to. This is a separate project if you want to do this instead, and it is waterfall. I think that's the first time we've had that one. So these 2 prompts go with this one, and this prompt that I'm about to pull goes with this one. And if you want, it can also be included in this. Okay. These 2 prompts also need to be included in that. And I just noticed, distracted by my ring, I've got a little spacer on it so it doesn't fall off my finger. It's just a little plastic coil. And yeah, I noticed it just turned around to the front, to the top side. And it's not supposed to be on display. It's supposed to be nicely hidden on the underside of my finger. Because I was wearing that ring on this finger, but now that I've got my wedding set back all fixed and resized down so it won't fall off my finger, I'm wearing it on, that's my mum's wedding band, on my pinky finger, but it's too big for my pinky, so I need the spacer so I don't run the risk of losing the ring. I don't want to get it resized because it's gold and platinum. It's gold, platinum, gold, platinum, gold, platinum. And yeah, I just don't want to mess with that pattern or anything. Plus it's the same size as what my mum's finger was when she got married, so you know, I don't want to kind of mess with that. Okay, let's go that one for this prompt, which is going to be stripes. Oh, so that's a good one that we can incorporate into the toy one. Like it's a nice easy pattern that we can just include. Okay, so I've got my card that I've prepared the back on for this series. Okay, so if you are new, I need to explain something. So we're doing faux collector sets, collector card sets. And collector's cards have some features or feature that make it look like it's part of a cohesive series. So I'm using a few things. I'm using a gold border around the edge on all of my sets that will combine all of the sets into like one larger series. I'm using stamped words, which I have no idea what I'm going to stamp today yet. And then I choose something else that is just for that set. And so the first set I did, I don't think I did anything. I just did like collaging. Second set, I used a plain coloured piece of paper in the background and then did the pieces on top of that. This series, I was like, what am I going to do? And I was like, I'm going to use book page and I'm going to use Spanish book page, and I'm just going to start by collaging it with the book page. So let's get that underway. This is a step that I'll probably do in advance on all of my cards, because once I've done this one, it's like, well, I don't want to be doing that same thing in each video for the 6 videos. So I'll do this one on camera, and then I will do the rest of them off camera so that they're, you know, a little further ahead when we come to do next week's card. I think that's fair enough, isn't it? It's not cheating. And really doesn't matter if it is cheating. It's my challenge. I can make up the rules. And really, there's very few rules. So you do this however you like, however you're inspired. Now, this text is not straight on the page, so I'm actually going to go diagonal. I'm just going to not try and get it straight, because that's fun. Just plop it on down there. Doesn't have to be straight, does it? It's background. So trim this out. And I might do that with all of them, or I might vary the direction, or I don't know yet. I'll worry about that when I do it off camera. So how was your weekend? I hope you had a lovely weekend. Mine was tired. I had a very tired weekend. I had some food bank stuff to do on Saturday because the storeroom was in absolute shambles. Things I couldn't deal with when I was packing parcels, and I didn't have the strength. I kept stumbling over everything. So hubby came and helped me sort that on Saturday, which was brilliant. And then Sunday we had church. My husband did the sermon, and then there was a lunch at his parents' church up in Waikari for his mum's birthday. So we finished up church and then shot off up to Waikari to go to their lunch, because we were invited to the lunch. And then we went back to his parents' place and spent some time there, and then came home. So it was a busy weekend. Yeah, I am tired. I'm sorry, guys. I'm all over the place because I'm tired. Although you probably say, well, there's nothing abnormal in what you're doing. You're always like that. Fair enough. So I've got these selection of images. There's this marionette here, little puppet. There's a collection of toys here under it. Looks like a Christmas tree. There's a boy on stilts. There's a toboggan, and there's a sled. I'm not sure, I won't use both of those, but I'm not sure which one I'll use. There's a drawing with some packet of crayons, and then there's a boy with some building blocks or alphabet blocks. I think I've maybe got one extra than what I need, but I like to have options. So what I'm thinking for this is, because all the images are kind of the similar width, is I might use my card sideways this time. There's nothing to stop me doing that, is there? And then I won't need to like chop off, particularly like this marionette one. I was working out, oh, actually no, it does just fit. Do they fit? No, his foot doesn't fit. That doesn't quite fit. That one would. That one kind of just does. That one obviously will fit, and that one, you know what, I think I'm just going to go sideways anyway, just to make it a little different. Which one do I want to go with today? So we've got layered numbers and stripes. I'm thinking the crayons. Okay, so we've chosen the image. Do I want to tear it or cut it is the next decision. I'm just going to look at all of the images actually and see, are they easy? No. No, they're not going to be easy to tear around them all. This one would be, there's plenty of space around it, but some of those are very close to text. So I'm going to do a kiss cut, I think, leaving a little bit of a border around the image, which might bite me considering some of those other ones don't have a lot of space, but we'll worry about that when we need to, not today. Okay, nice easy kiss cut there. So layered, what do I want to layer up with? Well, I think paper is a good start. So we've got our first layer being the book page. Let's grab out a wee scrap of something. Actually, I might have smaller scraps. Excuse my reach. Got my little bin here of small scraps. And I thought it would make sense to use something out of here. Don't really want more text. So we've got bits of, yeah, see, that's a pretty good size, isn't it? In fact, I'm just going to pop that on there. I'm not going to fluff with it too much. We're just going to lay that down and then choose something else and lay that down. Build up our layers. And this has actually got numbers on it as well, which kind of supports the number prompt, but we will do something else for numbers. Bit of eco-dyed printable paper. Sorry, just trying to not have that shadow there. Let's just put this down. Oops. I'm trying to work quickly and not, you know, get too fussy with everything. I may or may not succeed. Right, it's layered, so let's layer it up a bit more. Oh, there's a bit of wee scrap of music. It could be quite cool. Just do need to keep in mind my placement so that I'm not putting elements down that I'm completely hiding. Okay, just pop that on the, actually I'll use the other side, I think. That piece. Okay, and maybe one more piece. Well, there's another bit of music. No, not that bit. No, wrong sort of colours in that. Oh, what about a little triangle bit? Could be a bit interesting. Oh, we're losing our bit of music there, so no. Okay, I want one more piece. Just one more piece. There's a bit of Edith Holden. Maybe I need to do it vertical. No, it's, come on, find the right thing. Just, do I need one more bit? Well, maybe not. This is a little bit of scrapbook paper. Actually, you know what? It's not working. So we're just going to stick with the layers we've got, and we're going to call that good for layered. Now, before I pop this down, I'm looking at stripes, so I'm going to do stripes next. So actually I need not my glue page, I need just something to put underneath, and I'm going to use Posca pen. And what colour? So there's a lot of green in this image. Pink would be the next predominant colour, so maybe pink, and just a pastel pink. Oops, haven't used this for a while. There we go. Just giving it a shake. Have another sip of my coffee while I do so. Okay, and I'm just going to draw some stripes. That I'm just hand drawing them, so they might be a bit wonky. And I'm just going to do, and this is another layer as well. I'm going to do them right across the whole thing. And diagonal stripes, because we've got the diagonal book page underneath, so why not do diagonals in the opposite direction? So my spacing is getting larger as we go along. Doesn't matter, they're still stripes. Nobody said they had to be perfect stripes. Okay, fun, just nice, easy, quick. Okay, so need that to dry for a moment. Let's think about our numbers. So I could stamp numbers, but I'm thinking I've already got my pre-stamped numbers here. We could just find something that will, you know, work in. Like this pink 3. Is this? Yeah, it's pretty dry. It's not quite 100%, but... Or do I want something smaller? Because I need to put my words on as well. So I'm envisaging my words are going to be up here somewhere. It could be drawing number 33. No, that's not working for me. Maybe it's because the pink's a little bit bright, a bit dominant. This one's actually red. Number 5,337. Well, quite possibly that could be the number of the drawing, because, you know, kids can be quite prolific if they love drawing. You know what? I like this one the best. Maybe that one, because I can put the words over top of it. And then maybe, because it's numbers, we can include more than one. Okay, I'm liking that better. So I'm going to pop those on. Now, I have no idea what words I want to stamp. No idea. And I need something because I'm rapidly reaching that point of the proceedings. Do I want a glue? Yeah, I'll glue stick. So on my first set for the birds, I did the stamping on brown paper. And on the second set, I did the stamping on the same book page that I took my images from, which was a Janet and Jane reading book, learning to read book. This time, okay, so we've got more layers there. We've layered up the numbers as well. I was wondering about using the same book pages I've got these images from. Or do I want to use something different? I'm thinking I could go with that plain coloured paper like we did for the bases for the last series. But I don't have pink, I don't think. So we do have purple. We could possibly get away with that. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Let's use a plain bit of coloured paper. So stamp block, this time I'm thinking I might go with this font, which is a heavier font than this one that we used last series, just to, you know, make things a little different. So now crux, what are we going to stamp? Theme is toys. Okay, let's think. I'm just thinking, you know, something that we might use. I'm thinking maybe artist here. So we could do builder, puppeteer. It's quite long. Toy box, because to me that looks, you know, it's a collection of all sorts of toys. Fun lover, to me that's fun lover. Yeah, okay, not sure what for the stilts, but or the marionette, but I think we can go with artist on this one, because that's what somebody who does a lot of drawing is. Even if they, you know, are just playing, they're an artist because it's something they enjoy and they're being creative. Oops, that's got glue all over it now. I have to clean up that before I put my stamps away. Oh, yuck. That's why, because the glue page is sticky. Let me just do a little bit of tidy up here, because I sit my dirty stamps on top of my glue page and I don't want them to actually glue down to it. Right, now on with the show. We need the R. Sound a bit like a pirate then. R. Okay, gonna get inky fingers. Yep. What's new about that? T. Oh, the tap's dripping in the shower, or the, you know, the shower head. I can hear it hitting the metal bath, because ours is a shower over the bath. It's not abnormal, it does it ever since we had the new shower head put on, but it's not consistent, so it's like all of a sudden it just started dripping. That's why I commented, because it's like, well, it wasn't dripping, you know, for the first part of the video, and then suddenly drip, drip, drip. Oh, it's fun in my house, I tell you. Right, I need the tea back. Pop you back there. Here we go. Oh, how about if we put artistic instead of artist? Okay, so I need the I back. Okay, I don't know where that leaves us with the other images, but we'll cross that bridge as we come to it. right, and the sea. Just because there's no actual person in this particular image, apart from the drawing of the, there is a drawing, yes, a drawing of a person or a doll or whatever it is. So I think artistic is kind of feels a little bit better for me in context of what's happening in the image. Okay, right, done that. Let's cut that out. Do I want to cut it out? Do I want to tear it out? I think cutting is, because I'm working on such small spaces, I'm working on playing cards. You don't have to, you can choose whatever size you like, but I would recommend for the set of 6, each set of 6, make it the same size. And then if you want to do a different size, then choose a different size for the next set of 6. If you want to, I am choosing to keep mine all the same, so working with playing cards on each of them. Right. Oh yeah, I like that. I think that's good. I'm not going to ink around this. And I'm just going to, because I've covered my glue pages now, I'm just going to use tacky glue for this to glue it on. Here we go, and our gold border to finish it off. So with my Liquitex ink in iridescent bright gold, you're probably sick of me saying that, but just in case, you know, get new people, you never know when a new person's going to come along. Oh, I need to do clean up. I think I've said that in a few videos, clean up around the top of the jar or the bottle, but still haven't done it. And I've got crumbs on my desk now. So I just take the eyedropper and rub it around the edge to get a little gold border. And I haven't inked around this one either. Usually I ink under the, I ink with Vintage Photo under the gold ink, but I haven't done it. So I think this series will just skip the inking. Kind of the first one you do kind of sets the tone for the remainder of the set, really. So, you know, if you intended on doing something and you forgot, well, that's fine, just continue the series in that vein. Or if it's something you can add afterwards, you know, it's not a underneath layer, then you can always add it in, you know, even if that's historical. So you get to your 5th card and you add something and think, oh, I like that, you can go back and add it to your other cards in the series. It's perfectly allowed, my friends. Okay. Oh, I really do need to tackle that. It's getting worse and worse. I've got gold dust on my craft table. I must be rich. Got gold dust. Okay, so that is the first one in the toys series. And it's very hard to then be careful with it while it's drying. So I'll pop that maybe up there, and let's look at this waterfall. And I want to do this fairly simply and quickly. We've got time, so that's good. I'm actually thinking, do I want to do it on a playing card? I don't know. I've never tried doing a waterfall on a small area. But I'm thinking small, cute, you know. I'm kind of, that's my brain is thinking in that way. Oh, no. I was thinking we could use the numbers on the card as the numbers. So let's actually choose one with numbers. So 4 of spades. I don't know if I'll end up using it that way, but that's my initial thinking. So on this side, we are going to layer it first. We're going to do our decorative prompts or our creative prompts on this side. Nice stamping strips there. This is old French, I think, French book. Yeah, it is. So it's got nice colour paper and quite crunchy. So make good stamping strips. Okay, so the one thing that we do not have to include on this is the toys, but you could if you really wanted to. Right. Right, I'm covering my glue pages and I need them, so let's reshuffle here. Right. I'm going to trim that down a bit. Okay, first layer. Oops, don't know why I'm putting stuff to the side that I actually need. So we'll get to the waterfall part of this. I don't know if it's going to work, just a heads up. I'm just going with the flow here. Let's use a little bit of digital of some description. That's a pretty rose, isn't it? This is from, I believe it's from Billet Doux, from Rach and Bella Crafts. Okay, so I want something under that, I believe. Something else. Oops, I've got some white on there. Let's cut that off. Let's give it a nice fun edge. Okay, so it's going to go about there. Just trimming it down so I'm not putting so much glue around the place. Just very roughly trimming it. And I'll do a full around the card trim when I've got my pieces on. It's probably a bit bigger than I needed, but never mind. Oops, and I've got glue across the front. Never mind, that's fine. Okay, love this pretty rose. So again, just gonna trim off a bit of the excess. Again, trying to work quickly here. So today I need to be working on my newsletter for April, and I'll be aiming to send that out probably on the 2nd of April, or you know, sometime around that, within the first week anyway of April. So if you're not on my newsletter list and you would like to be, the link is in the description box below, so you can head there. And it's really low-key, only comes out once a month, the beginning of the month. It has freebies, it has discount code for my Etsy shop, it has a tips section. What else does it have? A basic little overview of where I'm at in terms of creative or life, or you know, whatever. So I get a little, sometimes more personal in that. Yeah, it's just got little short sections here and there, and you can read what you like. You know, it's separated in sections, so you can skip to what you want to read, what you don't want to read, but it's really not that long. Yeah, you're most welcome to sign up for that if you would like to receive the freebies for April, which I need to create today. So I can't tell you what they are because I haven't done them yet. Right, so that's essentially my first layer. We are going to use a number on the back there, but let's add some more layers with numbers. That's quite nice, I like that. And round something. Whoops, that was close. They just flicked onto my top, so I was able to collect them all back up and pop them in the container. Okay, yep, I'm going with that. Using my creative elements to fulfill the layered part of the prompt. Okay, so going with 3 elements because that is aesthetically pleasing for most people, and I do personally prefer groupings of odd numbers because if I stick to that, it generally looks pretty good, and in some cases I think it doesn't work and 2's better, or 1. Well, 1's an odd number, isn't it? But depends. If you want symmetry, you often will need just 2 or 4. Although if you put 1 in the middle, odd number with 1 in the middle, that still is symmetrical. Right, there's the numbers. Getting all sorts of glue here. Now stripes, I could do the same thing. I could do Posca pen and create some stripes, but I think I want to do something different on this, and I've just got to establish what I want to do it with. Purple. I'm going purple because it's handy, and I don't want it quite that long. Let's just trim it down a little bit, making more scraps for that pottle of tiny bits. Okay, and I'm going to just cut this into strips. Not worried about them being straight or even or whatever. I'm just going to cut strips and they will be our stripes. I don't know how many I need. Oops, need to clean my scissors yet again. And if they've got little curves or chinks or whatever, it doesn't matter. They are still stripes. I would rather have them a bit loose, I think, and not perfect. I think that's probably adequate. Right, I don't know how this is going to look. It might look awful. We're just going with it. I don't think I'll cover the whole thing with stripes, but now maybe I should have done it under the numbers. Too late now, so we'll find out. Could look at absolute eyesore. Oops. Did I put enough glue on there? Okay, so I can see the gaps, you know, wonky. I actually personally love that. I think it gives it a lot more interesting character than being perfect. I think maybe 5, no, that whole odd number thing again. Oops. Yep, very wonky. And 1 more, I think, will be all we need to fulfill that prompt. Okay, do like a bit of randomness here and there. Right, I'm just going to throw those 2 wee strips out because I can't imagine that they would be very useful and likely just to get lost or bent, broken, ripped. Trim off the excess. Okay. Yes, I do need to deal with that. It's like just going to set them aside and deal with it later, but no, I'm going to need my scissors again, I think, in this video. Oh, now they're all stuck to my fingers. Come on, get off there. One more. There we go. Oh, it's so sticky. Ooh. Ew. Sticky. Right. My coffee is almost finished and it is definitely cold. So I'll just have that last mouthful. Okay. So what I need to remember here is that we now have a direction because all my numbers are this way up. I think I do want to ink around it. So let's do that. This is going to be a mini waterfall. Still don't know how it's going to work. Whether it will work at all. We shall find out very soon. Okay, I probably want to do this side as well actually. It's already got a grimy side to it. No, they're used cards, they've been pre-loved. But just giving it a little bit more of the vintage vibe. Right, so I need to make sure I do it this way up. And I need papers for my waterfall. Is that wide enough? Not really. It's not what colours. This one I'll put away because it's not big enough. Oh, actually that one might work. Just grabbing out random bits at the moment that are kind of the right size. That could work. No, don't need a triangle. Sorry guys, I know you can't see right now. That one's printed badly, it's got lines through it, but it will be okay for this. Okay, so a variety of different digital makers here. I'm not going to go into whose is what because I might get it wrong, especially on designs like this, because it's like could be from a few different packs potentially. Okay. I want to chop. Actually, I might pay to measure. So 2.5 inches wide. Let me write this down. So 2.5 by 3.5. And I think I'll grab out. I don't need my scissors now. Grab out the guillotine. And let's do, so I don't want it to be the full width, I want to bring it in slightly, so I'm going to go 1 and, oh what's that, 7/8. Okay, and it's 3.5 long, and we need a fold over because we need it to flip up, so we're putting a little hinge here. Let's do this one. Yep, so let's take that at 1 7/8. Actually no, that's way too narrow. What am I doing? Okay, I mucked that up. so that one we won't be using. So it's 2.5, so we need to do 2 and whatever that is, 3/8. I don't know. Okay, and then turn over our hinge. Make sure it's, yep, that's better. Okay. My goodness. Brain math. Okay, so let's do 2 and whatever that is. Just the little mark beside the 2.5. And then, so 3.5 is the height, but we want to allow for our hinge. And of course we want a waterfall, so they can't all be the same height. So this one is 3 and almost 3.25, almost. So what I need to do is fold over the little hinge first. And I'm just random, you know, eyeballing that we hinge. So we want it slightly less than 3.25. So we're going to go 3 1/8, I think, is what that is. And I think I'll just do 3 for the waterfall, because it's only a playing card. It's not very big. And maybe, I kind of don't want to cut into this cute little cottage. I do know this is Rachel Malacraft's, as is this. Maybe we'll use this one because it's the one with the printing issue. So let's take the top white off first. And which way round? I want this way, don't I? So we're going to go to that first mark before, 2.5 inches for our width, and then fold down our top. Oh well, didn't check that. There's white on the back, around the printing on the back, but we're going to ignore that. Is that right? Oh yeah, it is. Okay, so we went just over 3 inches for the last one. So this one we're going to go just under 3 inches. Is that going to be enough? We can always chop more off. So that they stagger. In fact, tell you, it's hard doing things when you're tired because your brain just doesn't want to cooperate. So that's our longest one. It's going to go on the bottom, I think. Is it? I don't know. If we put that on the bottom layer, might need to round those corners a little bit. And then this is our next one. Need a bigger difference, so we're just going to eyeball, snip, and then about the same off this one. Yeah, we're just gonna do that and stop fussing. Put that up further, then we won't need to round the corners. Okay, and it will be quite bulky where I've got the hinges because I've just got them all sitting on top of each other. That's all right. It's not ideal, but it will work. Actually, I might put it slightly down so we've got that first paper peeking at the top, and we'll do the same with this one. And that could just offset a little bit of that bulk and give a little bit of interest as well. It's not a true waterfall, like I'm definitely not doing a proper job of a waterfall, but it is still waterfall in essence, just with a little bit of difference. So we've got top one, next one, so writing space on the back, and then we've got our third one, and we've got our number here, and you could write on there as well. So that's my waterfall. It's a bit of a back to front interesting one, but it works. It's writing space, and I think it's rather cute, don't you? Whoops, that was very loud. So there we go. There's my waterfall. We've got numbers, we've got layers, we've got stripes, and then we've got our waterfall, and this should be dry by now. We have our faux collector's card with the theme of toys, which today for me is crayons. You can take your images from wherever you like. They don't have to be from the same source. They could be from different sources, but if you want them cohesive, then feel free to harvest them from the same book or the same type of book or magazine. Or printables. Of course, you can use printables. We've got our numbers, we've got our stripes with the Posca pen in the back, and then we've layered up with our collage papers and our other elements, and our word, or the word for me, to part of my cohesive look. Okay, I think we're done. Yay. Awesome. Thanks for joining me, my friends. Give this a go if you haven't. It's just fun. You can just do the waterfall. You can just do the card. You can do both, or you can combine them. Whenever they lend themselves to it, you can combine them. Like you could easily do the waterfall on the back of this card, you know, if you wanted to. Options, people, there's always options. I try and make it as open and available to everyone as I can, so that you can choose what suits you. And I hope that's working for you. Okay, guys, have a great day. I will be, hopefully, no promises, but hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. We'll see how the energy levels go. I'll see you then. Bye.